talking simple tips to make you hit through the ball easier, and I really mean that. Now you can see, check out the range here today. We're on the range, we have the training aid bag. You've seen this before, pieces of wood, hangers, foam, everything, noodles. We're gonna get you sorted today, and this is the X Factor drill for your downswing to give you that simple feeling of hitting through. No guiding, no saving, hit through the ball. Let's go. No matter if you are a golfer who's brand new to this game, playing for a while, struggling with this feeling of hitting through, we have you sorted. So, I should point out that this drill is great for irons and driver and hybrids, all key areas of our game to help us score, especially those hybrids. I've seen a lot of the players recently here on the channel saying hybrids are a big thing in my golf game. Those longer irons are really the ones that I use all the time, so we've got to make sure they're pretty good, right? So what I've done here is, have a look at this. I've got X marks the spot, and what I'm going to do here is just literally place my feet either side of this X. So this is our X factor, okay? What we've got to understand is, at the top of the backswing, we create a line between our hip line and our shoulder line. And what we're really looking to do is make that stretch as big as we possibly can. I actually think today's drill is one that I'd only want you to do on the range, hence why we're here, or even something you could just do at home by placing 2 golf clubs on the ground, hands across your chest. But ideally, if you've got a set of alignment sticks just to put through your belt and one across your shoulder, that is a situation I want us to be in because we want ideal. So let's come to this face-on perspective. Take a look at the beautiful bag full of all the goodies. I say all the goodies, it's like Steptoe's yard, isn't it? It's just random pieces of stuff in there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got that X marks the spot on the floor. To have that feeling of flow through the golf ball and not hit at the ball, we have to understand this. As we start our downswing, we want to make this X that we have up here get as big as possible. Okay, so that's our X factor on the floor. What I'm wanting us to feel, that the X factor between our upper and lower, so the distance between the yellow and the blue gets as big as we can to start this downswing. That feeling in transition, that feeling of the X getting as big as possible will allow that club to gather better into the golf ball. So this is a simple drill. So getting over the golf ball, both alignments is across our chest, work it to the top of the backswing. You're going to see here on the floor, my hips are roughly matching this one here, okay? What I want you to do is, I really want you to feel as though your chest stays pointing that way for as long as we can. Now, be careful with this one. This is something that I want you to do really, really slowly and build into your game, okay? To the top, bring the X bigger, through. Now look what I'm doing here. I have a slight shift into my left, the knees are coming back to where I started, belt buckle's working to target. But essentially, a nice simple feeling is the hips are creating a bigger distance from the shoulders. That would be our X factor stretch. Now, if I did this with my arm in front of me now, and we'll put a slow-mo over this, we'll do one where we make this X not big at all, which is I think the position most of us golfers are in. Look how we can simply, if we did that slow-mo again, we get a lot more flow, a lot more like the golf club is moving as a result of the body moving, as opposed to trying to hit that golf ball by ourselves. Now let's hit some away. I mentioned this was great for irons and driver, so we're going to hit some with irons and driver. But before we do that, everybody, let's not forget, every single one of these videos, we have a PDF guide and a newsletter that you can download to support all these videos. So like this one right now, if you're out on the driving range and we think, you know what, I want to watch the video, but I need some extra points to write down and sort of look at and read, that is what we need. Okay, so download those down below and join Simple Golf Tips on Facebook. So let's hit the one with driver. So again, I've got this X out in front of me. We'd stand over it when we're doing the drill. Look how this club sort of just brings itself through. So the feeling I want you to have when we're actually hitting some shots is that my hands stay up here for as long as we can, but our belt buckle works to target. So it's like a delayed hit and they're moving as a result. You can just see here, they just sort of pull down into the space. None of this sort of motion. So make a few practice swings. I'm going to make one here, up, keep them up there, let them come through. Up to the top, keep them up there, let them come through. Now keeping the alignment stick on there to start with, let's hit one away. So if you can get a less or more of that X factor, you can have less of that hit feeling. Let's move on to an iron now, and that top end of our bag. These are the ones where we want the flow, we want the speed, we want that feeling. So if I was to stand in here again, sort of my reminder, club across my chest, hands up there as long as I can, create the flow through. It's that feeling of just allowing the club to drop and hit into position. There's no better feeling, and you can really access that with this video. So come outside of them, now ready to hit one away, get that feeling of up, keep it, flow through. So we're really feeling as though we're bringing that coil between our hip line and our shoulder line as big as we possibly can. Like if those alignment sticks are in there, the bigger the stretch, the bigger the feeling, the easier you can flow in the downswing. Let's hit this one away now. Let's summarize this one off for you, that feeling. And I think the way I'd sort of get this feeling, imagine you were sort of pulling a big chain here, right? You'd feel like your bigger stretch you create between lower and upper, the more you could pull it down. This way isn't going to create a lot of speed. This is going to help create a flow and not even feel like you're hitting the golf ball. That's the best feeling we could ever imagine for. Okay, nice, simple tips. Hope you enjoyed this one today. And as I said at the start, PDF is attached down below. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter. And don't forget, we're nearly 100,000. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for all your support.